You know you had a heartbreaker game when you have Hall of Famer Teemu Selanne making frustrated, objectively incorrect statements about the game.
That day when I got traded, it was minus 28 in Winnipeg. And first morning in Anaheim, I'm eating breakfast outside. It was plus 28 Celsius. And I look around, I said, thank you.
Team Canada is headed to the gold medal game after a 3-2 comeback win over Finland. This one required patience, adjustment, and a little bit of nerve late. Let's walk through this game calmly, because it wasn't a perfect game. It wasn't even really a good game for the Canadians, but it was a resilient one. Let's talk about it.
Here's Esa Piernas.
I finally remembered to use my Esa Piernas intro video during a video where I'm actually talking about the finish. So that's something off of my checklist. A lot of people talking about how Sidney Crosby wasn't in the lineup today. You know who else wasn't in the lineup? Alexander Barkov wasn't in the lineup. And I gotta say, this was a heck of a game by the Finnish before the Canadians decided to grab the bull by the horns and just ride this game right to the end. I think you can say that without Jussi Saros, it could have been a lot different game, but it looked like a struggle uphill for a lot of it for the Canadians. What hasn't felt like an uphill battle lately is the success of the channel. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. You may not know it. You might be a new subscriber here and just take it for granted, but this is usually a Montreal Canadiens, at least a Montreal Canadiens heavy channel. I love hockey. I like a lot of the teams. Montreal's my team. I'm always going to love them the most, but I love talking about hockey. So if you've liked the content so far, why not subscribe to the channel? I'd love to have you. We're really close. I thought we would hit it already, but we're really close to 22,000 subscribers. Can you help me get there? Everyone else who's a subscriber, don't worry about it. You know, you can help me out. Just hit that like button. It does something with something inside YouTube. I don't know. And leave me a comment down below. Just say hi. No Sidney Crosby in the lineup. Sure, that matters. Leadership, structure, support. They felt the absence. It's obvious. Felt like Canada didn't start sharply. There were neutral zone turnovers, a couple of avoidable penalties, certainly avoidable, and Finland capitalizes. After a Canadian penalty, Sebastian Aho wins a clean draw back to Mikko Rantanen, and he doesn't miss from there. Puts it right in the net past Binnington. That's elite talent executing. 1-0 early for Finland. But don't worry, shortly after, Canadians will go on the power play. This is their opportunity to tie it up, and you know they are hungry for it, so they're going to do it. Incorrect. Power play turns into a short-handed break the other way. Erik Haula haulas this puck up ice and finishes it, puts it behind Binner. Suddenly, it's 2-0 for the Finnish. Brilliant move by the short-handed king here, Joel Armia, by the way, to get this puck to Haula. And if you're a Canadian watching this and gripping the stick, you're feeling a nightmare scenario unfolding in front of you. But here's the key to the game, and this is where the door stopper starts working. Finland doesn't get much offense after this. All the complaints about the Canadians playing not to lose instead of to win, it looks like the shoe's on the other foot. Finland is trying to jam things up real nice. Every time the McTrio line is on, it doesn't happen. The things are all clogged up. It's all jammed up in the works. It is frustrating to watch as a Canadian fan. Finland is playing a calculated game. They're getting pucks out quickly, high flips through the neutral zone, a heavy collapse in front of Saros. And they're willing to concede some perimeter shots. But those shots, you're coming in through traffic, and there's a lot of traffic. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But to get that puck through, man, it just wasn't happening a lot of the time. So this play, it wasn't flashy, but it was effective, and it was frustrating to watch. Canada had possession, Canada had zone time, but they weren't getting through. But Finland is going to take a penalty. And this is where the breakthrough happens. Connor McDavid works it high to Cale Makar. Makar puts a puck toward the net, and Sam Reinhart gets a strong touch in front. 2-1. They prove they can score on Saros. An important goal, not just because it cuts the lead, but it validates Canada's pressure. From there, the ice starts to tilt. Macklin Celebrini was outstanding in this game. His pace, his confidence, attacking in the middle, he looked completely comfortable at high level minutes. He finished with 20, 22, 23 minutes because of it. Shea Theodore also deserves some mention. Once Canada needed offense, his willingness to step into shots from the blue line became a factor. And now into the third period, John Cooper shortened the bench quite a bit. And the game changes from here. They put the finish on their heads a little bit. Instead of rolling evenly, Canada leaned into their identity. MacKinnon, McDavid, and Celebrini brought the speed and pressure. Bennett, Marchand, Wilson, direct, heavy net front presence. And that second group was important because it forced Finland to defend through contact, not just structure. Eventually, Theodore jumps into space and wires one through traffic. He finds some daylight behind Saros. 2-2, ties it up. And at this point, Finland couldn't just sit back anymore. They had to get out there. So their game changes too. It becomes a little bit of a scramble. Very late into the third period, Canada draws a penalty. This is the one that Solani had problems with. I hate to say it though, it's a high stick. They're going to call this every time. It wasn't just a little graze against the cheek either. This smacked MacKinnon right in the chin. And this is pretty crazy. John Cooper, no timeout. I don't know what he sees. He's a smarter coach than I am, certainly. But he puts out his top guys a little bit gassed, but they don't overcomplicate it. Bodies in front, bodies in motion. McDavid finds MacKinnon, and MacKinnon gets just enough to squeeze the puck past Saros. 3-2. MacKinnon delivers when it matters. It looks like he's going through some sort of jaundice type scenario. He's having liver problems maybe, but he gets it done when it's important. There was an offside review. You kind of sweated that out a little, but they were showing the replays. It was extremely close, but I felt like there wasn't enough there for the officials to call it offside, so counts as a goal. Finland pushes. They're not able to find a setup in the zone to make anything big happen. A couple of key wins by the Canadians, and they close it out from there. Good game by Finland, but I think that they should have just continued pushing. I feel like they had the Canadians scared. But the big picture takeaways for Team Canada, for Canada, they can win in different ways. This wasn't just a simple game. This was a grind. They shortened the bench and it worked. I think that Cooper can fall back on that, although you really wish that some of the other lines would just find some better chemistry. I'm not seeing the chemistry out there. I feel like Finland played their game well, but Canada was able to find the cracks and eventually put on enough pressure that, yeah, they found their way. Because I think Canada ended with something like nearly 40 shots on goal. So they really had to pound them in order to put themselves over the top. And then finally, McDavid and MacKinnon, I mean, they're inevitable. They will find a way to be successful. So you're hoping they're able to do that just for that one more game, right? Sam Bennett didn't love his game. Yeah, there was times where certain players I just didn't love their game. Everyone kind of chipped in. Like I said, the food was tough to eat because Finland was shutting a lot of things down. They weren't serving up big courses. But there was times where I thought Wilson was a puck possession black hole, and Bennett threw away the puck quite a bit. And that penalty he took wasn't necessary. There's some players that are certainly more invisible than others. But on to face USA. They won against Slovakia. Pretty dominant finish. Slovakia looked like they had some juice there at the end. It's too bad they didn't come out with that type of juice. But yeah, Team USA looks like a strong team, and they're the teams that gets confident. And when they're confident, they play their best game. So I think that they're going to be well set up to play Canada, who I will say, they worried me about their chemistry. Crosby's out. MacKinnon, he's battling something, man. So I think it's going to be a tough game for Canada. I think that the United States has the momentum, but that can all change, and it only takes one or two different plays for that to happen. So I will talk to you again after that game. Hope you guys are doing all right. Take care of yourselves. You guys know what to do. Hit the like button. Helps me out with search results, I think, probably. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.